great to be here.
Did you buy any of those shirts we were talking about on eBay?
No, I haven't yet.
Dude, I've been thinking about those and I keep forgetting.
Yeah, like I know I said they were like $20, but they were like 50.
They were cheap.
In my mind, I was just like, oh yeah, they're like crazy affordable. They're
Well, you showed me one that was like $20.
Yeah, it was like there was one, and then that's it.
Yeah.
All of the rest of them are very, very much a lot for a vintage T-shirt.
Yeah, but they're sick.
Yeah.
But those were vintage JCPenney, right?
Yeah, JCPenney. Yeah, from the 80s, I believe. So nice wide collar, slim fit undershirts, just hot.
So good.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Were they hard to find in your size? I'm sure they're not easy.
So for wearing just like a regular T-shirt, I don't think they made them like that big. But I can wear them as an undershirt, which is probably what I would wear them for. Like,
yeah,
like they would make me look crazy buff.
Yes,
they'd be
just peeking out of it,
just nice and tight, just like, but yeah,
totally vintage style.
Yeah. So
dude, there's nothing like one of those shirts with some old 501s or something.
Yeah. So for that, it'd be great. But I did just get a Polo Country denim jacket.
Polo Country?
Yeah, are you familiar with Polo Country?
No.
Okay. So you know Ralph Lauren.
Yeah.
So, and you know Double RL.
Yeah.
So Polo Country is the precursor to Double RL. Started in 1988, I believe.
I've never even heard of this.
Yeah. And they're a lot of their pieces are made in USA. Great quality. Like, I don't have firsthand experience with a lot of it, but from what I understand, the quality is like top tier Double RL quality. Because Double RL is sweet. It's all very good, but they have more things that are like easier barrier to entry. But like outerwear pieces, are all very, very well made. So it's pretty much all like that.
Nice.
Shirts, vests, really cool knits. And yeah, a lot of their stuff is like collector's items. So I got these moccasins, and those were Polo Country, and like they're pretty awesome.
Dude, they look comfy, that's for sure.
Yeah, they're very comfy. So I'm really excited to get that, because again, vintage stuff is hard to find in a bigger size. So for me, like this, because I think this jacket is from the 90s that I got, and should fit just perfect. Because I've been on the hunt for like the denim jacket for a long time, and they're just kind of tough. Like vintage Lee, I really love, but they're all very short, and I kind of have a long torso, so they like kind of cut very, very high.
Yeah.
On me, and it looks cool, but it doesn't feel good, and it doesn't really suit my more relaxed style that I just feel the most me in.
Yep. Totally get that.
And Levi is cool. Everyone's got one, and that's cool and all that. No shade to Levi, they're amazing, but I just wanted something different.
Yeah.
And so like this one has a blanket lining that's like a Native American type of design. And the pockets, you know how like the pockets were on the corduroy overshirt that I gave you?
Yeah.
They're like that.
Like the slant?
Yeah, the slant. Which is just the perfect angle.
Yeah.
For a hand warmer pocket. And then it has a chest pocket with a little zipper. And it's a zip front, no buttons.
Whoa.
And it's just really cool. I'll show it to you after.
Yeah, that's sweet.
But yeah, it's I'm very excited for that.
So what happened to that line? When did it? Do you know when it ended?
I think it ended in the early 2000s. I'm not positive. Um, and they still do some stuff here and there, or did in the past like 10 years. Uh, but it's not the same. The label's a little different, and it is, I guess, apparently not as high of a quality. So it's
Yeah.
more just regular polo Ralph Lauren quality, which isn't bad, but it's just not quite the same. And I don't think any of it is made in the U.S. anymore.
Yeah.
So,
Got to
so
go back a ways to make sure it's made in the U.S.
yeah. So,
Wow.
so yeah, it's not a thing anymore, but you can find it in the vintage market. Um,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's because they're collector's items, they're a little pricey,
Yeah.
but I got a good deal on this.
So was that line like Western wear or workwear
Um,
or what is it like?
a lot of it, a lot of it is Western inspired. So that's why you have that crossover for the new, like more current double RL stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but like if you look at some of the old ads, like there's this one of this dude and he's wearing like a hunter green fisherman sweater over three different flannels. You know, he's got buku layers as per Ralph Lauren, with a
Yeah,
big,
true.
yes, with
Looks sweaty.
so
Looks
good.
hot.
But he,
So good.
yes, with,
In literal and sexual sense.
yes, no, 100%. And this guy
So good.
has this giant, um, like tweed herringbone jacket over it
Oh, dude, that's so awesome.
with some brown cords. So still very prep, but as far as like I think the standout pieces are the workwear elements, which are a lot of denim, a lot of wool, and they have like a lot of like striped shirts, like a more like a serape type pattern on them. So you see a lot of that, and their knits, like the designs on their knits are incredible and great colors too. Lots of native inspired designs.
Goodness.
So for me, it's the best parts of double RL.
I was going to say it sounds like a dash of double RL before its time.
Hmm. Yeah, it definitely was the precursor
Yeah.
for double RL. That's pretty well documented. But I think double RL there was some crossover in the lines, and then they just decided to go for double RL instead.
But now these pieces are still out there.
They're still out there.
Dude, it's so cool.
Definitely look it up on eBay, Pinterest. There's not a lot on Instagram that you can find.
Really?
Yeah, most of it's from Japan. You know, Japanese collectors having it. You know, but like
Of
I
course.
couldn't find a photo
So,
of somebody wearing this jacket. You know, so just to see how it fit. You know, because the shoulders are pretty wide and relaxed. Um, and I couldn't find a single photo. So I
not even like an old ad or something?
no
Nothing.
nothing. So just flat lays from the seller and some measurements, and that's all I got.
That seems like it means it came like just out of a catalog.
Hmm.
And it was like, maybe that means it was like for the everyman.
Yeah.
It's not like overhyped. It's like, go get this at Sears. Not you.
Yeah. I think like I mean I don't know. I was still in the womb in the tail end of the 80s. So I don't know. I don't there's not a lot of information that I could find um about it other than it was a precursor to double RL and the quality is amazing and they're collector's pieces now. Um but yeah, not a lot. I'm sure if you did a deep dive on Reddit, you could find a lot of history, but
Yeah. How'd you run across it?
there's a channel on Instagram, Cowboy Crust. Uh, love his stuff. and he was going through his watch list on eBay, and he was,
That's awesome.
yeah, and he was
Great
just,
idea for a post,
yeah,
first of all.
yeah, his stuff is great. You'd love him. Um, but he was going through all these things that he just thought were cool that like either were too expensive or wouldn't fit him, but he just wanted to look at it and appreciate it. So he shared that on a reel, and he showed this jacket. It was like a chore coat, I believe. It was like a tan chore coat, um, with a bunch of, looked like hand painted graphics all over it. But that's just how the fabric was printed. And he was like, Polo Country. And I was like, what is Polo Country? I've never
What is
heard of
that?
this before. So I just Googled it and just went down the rabbit hole. And
So it's still flying under the radar.
yeah, it's not, there's not a lot of it. And like the offerings are pretty slim, and the barrier to entry is pretty steep. Like the jacket that he showed was like $2,000.
Oh, okay.
Um,
So it's like a known, rare, hard to find
it's a
line.
they're collector's items, yes,
Yep.
but collector's items are great if you can wear them. So
Only if you can wear them,
only if you
though.
can wear them. Yeah.
You got to
So
wear it.
yeah. So yeah, that's how I found them, and I just went down the rabbit hole. And there's not even a lot of ads that you can see.
Man.
So it's just a really cool thing that I think everyone should look at, because the details are incredible.
Yeah.
Like the angle of the pockets, the zipper pocket up on the chest, the lining, and then these things are like 30 years old. So if you have like a denim or a canvas, the fade is and wear is incredible. It's just
So
hot.
good.
It's just so hot.
So hot.
Yeah.
Something that's really fascinated me about that era of fashion is like the effortlessness of
Hmm.
the photography
Yeah.
of that time.
Hmm.
Like I have looked through a couple of Ralph Lauren books from back in the day,
Yeah.
and it doesn't feel the same with modern stuff, but back in like the 70s and 80s,
Yeah.
the outfits were kind of fairly straightforward and simple sometimes,
Hmm.
especially like the casual,
Yes.
the more everyday stuff that they would do.
Hmm.
They would have these guys in photo, or Ralph Lauren himself in the photos, and you're like, how does it look so incredible
Yeah.
with you wearing a pair of jeans and a sweater?
Yes.
I'm like trying to dissect this photo,
Yeah.
and I mean, the answer is it was a completely different time. It's shot on real film.
Yeah.
The fit is perfect,
Yeah.
you know. So there is an answer to it, but I'm like, man, he's wearing some black shoes, like some loafers and jeans,
Mhm.
like seemingly the most basic outfit. And I'm like, this is the most iconic outfit I've ever seen. You
Yeah.
know,
And
something about it.
I think what Ralph Lauren has always done. Have you seen the like runway show that they just did in Milan?
No.
So it is um, being hailed as like a return to form for Ralph Lauren.
Mm,
Um, Very classic, heavy on the layering, which I think layering and accessorizing has always been Ralph Lauren's, you know, thing. Like that's how he dresses. That's what he wants to see,
yep.
and like I'm not a tailoring guy. I'm not like a suit, and full suit or even like classic menswear pieces type of person.
Yep.
But even that stuff, you just have to look at how it moves on the body, you
The way
know,
it falls,
the way it
the length of
falls.
the pants, it's
Yeah.
all on purpose.
How the scarves are wrapped around their necks or not, or just like wrapped around the handle of a
Mhm.
bag that the model is carrying. And I think the magic of Ralph Lauren is that you can imagine yourself wearing it.
Mhm.
And I think that's one of the reasons why Ralph Lauren has just transcended all of these trends and times of fashion, in every
Yeah.
era.
Yeah.
And because, he's started as a tie company. Did you know
Yeah,
that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he started selling ties and
Ties only.
yep. And that's how polo started. So sold ties and then transferred into, creating pieces.
Oh, that's
And
super cool.
and here we are. If you haven't, there's a documentary on HBO about Ralph Lauren and his
Oh, no way.
career and his person. So it's it's awesome. Highly recommend.
I bet. There's at least one book out there that I can just stare at for like an
Hmm.
afternoon. It's
Yeah.
like
Which one?
it's I can't think of the name of it even, but it's like an inch thick or so, and
Hmm.
it's all from I think the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
All heavy on the western wear side.
Cool.
And it's just maybe it's called like the early days or something
Okay.
like that. But it's all him standing by classic cars, and it's
Mm.
got formal wear and it's got western wear, and there's a couple where he's got the most beat up cowboy hat,
Yeah.
and I've got this
The
ring
tan
here.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, it's thrashed,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, okay, that's the coolest hat I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen anyone else rock a beat up, totally patinaed, worn in
Hmm.
cowboy hat like that,
Yeah.
and
And
it works so well.
and for that kind of stuff, like the double RL stuff and the more like casual jeans and t-shirts, flannels type of stuff, like I don't know if they aged it or whatever, but the way that it falls on the models in those old ads,
Mm.
it looks like they've had those pieces for like 10
It
years.
looks like they've been working in them and living in them
Yes.
forever.
Yeah. And I think that's the again, that's the magic of it is that it's made to be lived in.
Yeah.
And I think like I had this conversation with my wife last night and I was just like, is it okay to collect clothing? Some people collect watches, some people collect shoes, some people collect um, figurines or, baseball cards or whatever.
Mhm.
And, everyone's kind of a collector of something. And one of those things for me is clothing. And I kind of went in when I had like buku bucks back in my working creative days. I was just like, I can get all this stuff and it's just cool and I love having it around. And that's cool. I'm not going to dog anyone for doing that, but
If that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
you have much clothing,
It's too
Adam.
much.
I don't know if there I see I don't know if there is too much, but
Yeah.
I had too much for myself. Because I want my clothing to serve its purpose, to be worn, to be cherished in that way. I don't know why that matters to me, but it does. And so if I'm not wearing it, it should probably go to someone who will,
Yeah.
and they'll treasure it and they'll beat the hell out of it, and mend it and like just have it forever. And that's kind of like what I want to focus on more, having less pieces, but more things that I can wear, like boots. Like there's a content creator called Stridewise. They talk about a lot of like men's workwear and
Yeah.
boots and stuff like that. And he did this video where he was just like, you can collect boots, and boots are awesome to collect because they're beautiful. And like you'll have every single pair
You can get
forever.
one of everyone if you want.
Yes.
Every kind.
But something that he said really resonated with me, where he was like, you're not going to get the full potential of a boot if you have 10 pairs and you rotate through them, because a boot's true nature and true beauty of a boot will come when you break it in, when it molds to your foot, when you have like no one else can wear that boot because it's just so yours. And I was just like, crap, like you're right.
You're right. That is a
Yeah,
cool thing.
and
You
I
know
and
what
I,
I mean? You're like,
I have
yeah, that
yet.
makes a lot of sense.
It does make a lot of sense. I have like one pair of boots. It's a roper boot, and that is like the one that has molded to my foot, and it's so comfortable and so amazing. And I'm currently working on a couple pairs of vintage Red Wings, and I'm just like, I should just have like a few, and just really wear them. So I'm like, I'm trying to break them in.
Yeah,
They're from like
takes time.
they're from like 2017. Got them like pretty much dead stock, and I'm just chugging away.
Dude,
Going to
it does
work
take a
and
while.
yeah,
I'm just about to have to resole those black Red Wings that I got
cool.
when we were roommates
That's awesome. I remember when you
2014 or
got
something.
those. Yes,
So long ago.
that's amazing. I
And I
want
still
that.
wear them.
I want that. You know,
Dude, yeah.
I want to experience that. I want to have those things be like, oh yeah, those are Steven's boots.
They actually get worn. They've seen
Mhm.
some real life,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
In the vintage motorcycle world, we'll make fun of people sometimes for having trailer queens.
What's that
You know
mean?
what this is?
No, I don't.
This is where you have a really nice motorcycle and you don't ride it
Mm,
because you don't want to mess it up.
okay.
Like when you're a kid, you get the roller blades and the
Yeah.
knot box.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, I mean, anything can be this way.
Yeah.
If you have a motorcycle, it should be ridden.
Yes.
You shouldn't be staring at it.
Yeah.
Right. So the same goes for clothes, of course. It could be a really, really cool thing, but are you really experiencing it? Is it really serving its purpose if you never
Yeah.
wear it
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't become a real part of you?
Yeah.
I'm so guilty of this. Dude, I have 10 pairs of boots right now because they're all different styles and
Yeah.
colors and I love them and they're like
Yes.
I do wear them, but it's going to take me 10 times as long to actually wear in a pair. There
Mm.
was a time where that black pair of Red Wings is the only one I had.
Yeah.
And I wear it every day.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. You did.
So, yeah, I'm sure you remember.
It's behind you right there.
Thanks. Just gonna
Yeah.
need some vodka, Arrowhead Spring vodka. Anyway,
But yeah, man, I don't know. There's this whole idea that I'm kind of latched onto is to not be so precious with your things, you know, like use your stuff,
yeah,
live in them. Like I looked high and low for a very specific fit of jean, and I wanted them, light washed and worn and just kind of a little looser with the 10-inch leg opening, and I just couldn't find them anywhere. And so I got these. These are a double RL vintage 5 pocket East West denim, which is like I don't want to sound like a douche, but it's just like
it's their best
it's their
ones.
best one.
Yeah.
It's their best denim. Like the cotton is from Tennessee, and then they ship the cotton to be loomed in Japan, dyed in Japan with indigo, and then they ship it back, and then it's patterned and created in the U.S. And
Yeah, that's great.
hence the East West, and it was just the
Okay.
perfect fit. All the details were right, and found them used. The guy just washed them a couple times, I think, to get some of the coarseness out.
Yeah.
And I've just been wearing these like every day because I want
Okay.
these to be like that. So I'm going to make them that way by wearing them. And like, I'm a custodian for my day job, like getting chemical on them, being on my hands and knees, like scrubbing floors, like in these.
Yeah.
And like, what's that going to be like in like 5 years, 10 years,
Yeah.
so on, so on, you know? And
Yeah.
I want that so bad. That's
It's a
like,
cool thing because you
yeah.
have to put in the time.
Mm-hmm.
You don't just buy it off the rack with holes in it already, like
Boo.
I did when I was in college,
No, totally.
which I absolutely did.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You actually have to wear it. The wear on it is from your own life, which is a
Yeah.
beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And actually, my first experience with this was thanks to you. You bought me those 501s.
Yeah.
Also in like 20, it had to be around the time I got those Red Wings.
Mm-hmm.
Must have been 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just wore the shit out of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I had them repaired twice.
Hell
And I
yeah.
actually just gave them to someone
Did you?
because I finally grew out of them.
Okay.
Sadly,
Bummer.
around the waist, getting older, folks. But I just gave them to a younger kid,
Mm-hmm.
friend of mine that I met. I could tell he had good style.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was thinking about getting rid of these, but if you want them, then they're yours. And
Yeah.
he was like, "Are you serious? I could
Yeah.
have those?"
Dude,
Yeah.
vintage 501s
Yeah.
are solid gold.
Dude, they're great. And I would still be wearing them if they still fit.
Mm-hmm.
But he was so appreciative. He
Yeah.
sent me a text a couple days later and was like, "By the way, I just got to say again, well done on this wear." I was like, "You're a nerd. I like this.
No, that's
You get it.
awesome.
You get it."
Those are the types of people you want to inherit your clothes.
Yeah,
You know,
of
when
course.
you move on, or you know, if you move on from this plane of existence, you know, like we talked about this the other day of creating the next generation of vintage. You know,
Yeah.
for these young kids, you know, coming
Yeah.
up, and
Yeah.
like the stories that we tell through our clothes that they'll never know, but they'll be there. They'll be in the fabric, places we've been, dirt that we rolled in, you
Yep.
know, is in there. It's a part of it, you
Yeah.
know, and I think that is so cool.
It's so cool.
Like you can't beat that, I don't think.
And it's getting more and more rare. The more
Mm-hmm.
you can buy clothes on Amazon and
Yeah.
throw them away 3 months later, and
Yeah.
or have to throw them away
Yeah.
3 months later.
Yep.
Everything is a dime a dozen now. So it's going to be more and more rare to actually hang on to something,
Mm-hmm.
some kind of clothing, and give it to somebody later.
Yeah.
It's an amazing thing.
Yeah.
So I just gave away those pants like literally yesterday.
Really.
I gave them to that kid. So
That's
it's
cool.
the perfect time to have you on.
Awesome.
Almost 10 years later,
Yeah.
I finally gave away those things, and I think they went to a good home. So
Awesome. And they were vintage when I got them for you.
were they?
Yeah.
I don't really remember.
Yeah. They were dead stock from the early 2000s.
Oh,
Yeah, because they were Cone Mills, if
they
I
were
remember correctly.
stiff. I remember
Yes.
wearing those. Like,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
dude, that's great. What weight are those?
These are 16.
Oh, dude, that's thick. No,
Yeah. 16
they
ounces.
stand up by themselves.
No, only ones that are like 25
Oh, okay,
can do that.
okay. I didn't
Yeah.
realize,
Yeah. So, and those are thick boys.
dude. Those are painful to wear
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. I've never had a pair of 25-ounce jeans, but I do have a pair of 21-ounce Iron Hearts, and you would never know. Like they're just so well made. They're comfortable right away.
Dude, whoa.
Yeah. Do you know Ironheart?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Get some more whiskey.
Okay. Drink. Sit down. Drink.
You're too far away.
I could have handed it to
There
you.
you go. No, I deserve to work for it.
So yeah, I have a pair of their 634, I think, which is their straight fit, and they're just awesome, dude. Like if you ever want to spend some coin on a pair of jeans and have them forever, I recommend a pair of Iron Hearts.
Yep.
They're the most
You
comfortable.
recommended those to me before. I think and I love them. They're awesome. I cannot find anything long enough. I mean, I've gone down
Mhm.
I've used AI. I'm
Yeah.
like, please find me the tallest, longest inseam
Yeah.
in existence.
Yeah.
For some good raw selvage denim.
Yeah.
And they're just not out there. They're like,
Yeah.
I was excited at first. It's like, here's the 3 places that are known for selling the tall stuff.
Yeah.
For people like you, all sold out.
Yep. Yeah. The 36-inch inseam is hard to come by.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's usually 34, 33 now.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I want to get that
tough.
good cuff.
Yeah, the cuff is good. The cuff is sexy. I'm pro cuff.
Very pro cuff.
Yeah. I had like a stint of like 2 months where I was just like, no, man, just straight all the way down because I'm a grown ass man. And I don't know,
You're like,
some stupid idea I got in my head. And I was just like, man, whatever. I see these old heads just wearing cuffed pants.
Yeah.
Because they're short and they're vintage pants, and they just cuff them because they have to. And I think that's sexy as hell.
There's a cool reason behind it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like the working class back in the day couldn't afford very many pairs of pants. So literally they would roll the cuff when they were kids and unroll it as they got taller.
Yep.
They're growing into the pants, and that's why they're cuffed because they
Hmm.
need them to be taller as they grow into young men.
Yeah,
That's
100%.
crazy.
No, that's so cool.
That's so
I
awesome.
love that.
It's the coolest thing ever. Of course, now we just do it for the look,
Yeah, for the aesthetic.
for the aesthetic, of course.
Yeah,
We're posers.
that's okay.
Still cool.
Still cool.
What's this jacket?
This jacket is a vintage Pendleton. Uh,
That's one of the more badass jackets I've seen in the last 5+ years.
Yeah, it
That
is.
thing is awesome.
It is not super thick wool, but it's, vintage Pendleton. Pendleton still is one of those brands that if you get it, you're going to have it for a while. They're just made really well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, made in USA. And it's just like essentially a serape blanket that was patterned into a jacket. And it is awesome. Highly
Dude, it's
recommend
so good.
vintage Pendleton.
You got all the buttons on there too. Are those sewed on or are they like
They are sewn on. They
okay?
are they're concho style buttons, so they're metal. You know how the on like old like tweed jackets, they have the leather buttons
Yeah.
and those have like a little round hook on the back,
Yep.
and that's how they're sewed on. That's
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
these are. They're
Okay.
just metal, stainless steel concho buttons.
So good.
And it's, dude, I don't know.
What a pattern.
It's just
I haven't seen that.
it's just incredible. I hadn't either.
Dude.
And then I was like, they're never in my size. But
Yeah.
I still look, but this one was my size. And yeah, I just sat on it for like a couple weeks and I was like, if that goes away, I'm going to regret it.
I will hate myself
Yeah.
if I don't
Yeah.
purchase
I'll
this.
be thinking about that jacket that I didn't buy,
Yeah.
and so when I feel that way about a piece, um, yeah, I just bite the bullet
Yeah,
and
that
have
thing
to
is
do it.
well worth it.
Yeah.
Once you sit on it for long enough to realize that you're going to keep it for a long time,
Yes.
you're like, this is actually an investment.
Yes.
You know.
And I think if you are able to, if you have the means to do that and consume clothing or really anything that way, I think that's a much more ethical way to do it, especially if it's used, because you're not just adding to the litany of trash,
Yep.
and like giving things a second life. Like, I don't know when this came out. I don't know who had it before me, but they took really good care of it.
You could
And
probably find out. No,
I don't know. You probably could.
I've actually used AI to look up vintage pieces before, and it's got detail. I
Yeah.
don't know how accurate it is,
Yeah.
but I'll be like, here's all the tags I can see on the clothing. What can you tell me about it?
Yeah.
And it'll give me like a date range and like if it's got a brand name on it, it'll be like these were sold in New York City in this time period at these department stores for the working man.
That's cool.
It gives you a lot of detail.
That's awesome.
So you might be able to use that. Do you use ChatGPT or anything? Or
I try not.
gone down that path?
I try not to. I am.
Good for you.
I am a recovering AI user.
Really?
Yeah, I try not to.
It's early. How are you recovering already?
Because I used it very heavily for a few months.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I should probably just do my own work, use my own brain, try to find this information the way that I have my whole life. And I like that hunt, and I don't want to give that up because of convenience, because it is very convenient. And for some things, it's very useful. But for anything creative or anything that I really love, as far as like clothes, I'll just do it the way I always did, just Google searches, Reddit, and just trying to find other nerds out there that have devoted the time and energy
I was going to say,
sharing all of this wealth of knowledge.
You're like really reading information. You're hearing from people that are super passionate about
Yes.
it if you do that.
Yeah. And for me, no judgment if you use AI, but for me, I retain information a lot more if I find it. I
Mm,
read the articles, I read from the source.
mm,
And retention matters to me, you know.
for sure.
So every once in a while, I will use AI to act as a sounding board to verbally process uh, ideas because when
Interesting.
I work, when I'm creating art, or when I have an idea, for my website or, copy. Uh, I'm not a writer, um, and I don't know a lot about a lot of things. So I use it as a sounding board and as like a uh, like how I would process an idea with you, because oftentimes I'll be at work and I'll have an idea, and so I get it down, and then I just sit there and I mill it over and I go through that process. But if I find myself just hitting my head against a wall, um, I help. It helps to have an outside opinion, for lack of a better term, to
Yeah.
feed me discourse.
You say like, what do you think about this idea?
Um,
Is that what you typed in, or is it like,
it,
tell
it's
me
not
this or that?
it's not so straightforward. Um, like like today, I was trying to work on this copy for a zine release that I'm doing, and I just didn't really know how to succinctly say something. I tend to be a lot more wordy,
Mhm.
and I'm trying to grow in that, but I don't really know how sometimes. Like I don't know how to say this. So I'm just like, how can I convey this emotion or this idea
Mm.
in a very straightforward way? Um, and it shoots out some really shit ideas.
I was gonna say,
But there
I've tried
is
this too.
but there
Sometimes I'm like,
is a through line that opens up a door for me to find my way through. So
yeah,
I very rarely use anything that it gives me like straight up. Um, it still has to go for me, for my own art, for my own creativity, and for my own, maybe it's pride, maybe I don't know, but it has to go through my self, my process still. So I use it more as like a processing tool,
yeah.
to for me to understand my own ideas better. And so that's how I use it.
I have tried to actually make it give me an idea that I can just paste.
Mm,
Give me, I like try to make it give me the perfect idea
yeah.
for a headline,
Mhm.
a couple sentences of text or
Totally.
something. I have yet to do it to
Mm,
where it like actually gives me word for word something perfect that I like.
yeah.
You and me are probably similar in that we're just kind of weird with
Yeah.
the way we communicate and the way
Yeah.
we write,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I have yet to actually have it work, but I'm curious if the day ever comes where it does spit out, it does know me well enough to spit out something that I actually love and
Mm,
just like can take 100%. Has
yeah.
not happened yet.
No, not for me either. It gives
Yeah.
me a lot of good little nuggets. So I try to like I have this there's a the way I think about ideas is that they're like fish. It's like you're fishing. And David Lynch talked about this a lot, and I
Mm,
got this from him. But when you're trying to find ideas for a film, a screenplay, a piece of art, a an essay, whatever, you you imagine you're out on a pond or a river, and the river is the stream of consciousness where ideas live, and the fish are the ideas. And so you throw out your rod, and you're just like, oh, maybe I'll catch one. And a lot of times, if for people who haven't ever fished before, you could be out there for a while and not catch anything. And so sometimes you're out there and, oh, I didn't get an idea, so I'll
yeah.
I'll come back later and I'll try again. And every once in a while, you'll get a fish, and maybe it's just a little sliver of an idea. Uh, but then you take that fish and you cast that out and maybe you'll get a bigger fish. And you just follow that path until the idea is fully formed and you're holding this idea and you're
Mm,
just like, this is it. This is the one. And then you take it home and you
I
treat
love
it
that.
and you cook it and you have your idea and you eat it.
I love that analogy. How does that relate to your experience making the zine? Did it play out in a predictable way? I'm curious about your general experience with the zine, if it played out in a predictable way
Mm,
or not, or what changed throughout the process.
well, the zine that I am currently releasing is called Banana Warhead, and it's my first one. It's the first one I've ever done, and it took 10 months to make. And it's not in any rush to finish it. It's 12 pages, and it's a Banana Republic mailer. Um, it came in the mail, and I was just like, "Oh, free paper! I can use this." And so I brought it to work with me, and I was just looking at it, and I had an idea for the cover, and I was really inspired by Basquiat because he used a lot of symbols in his work, and I bought the same book of symbols that he had, and I just went through folklore symbols, and I found ones that communicated a story to me, and I was just like,
Mm,
this is what this zine means to me. But I'd be lying if I said I knew what that even meant at the moment. I just knew that I was feeling these things and I was in this internal space living with these emotions and I just wanted to get them out and I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just like, it feels right to put these symbols here. Like there's a face um, over uh, the lady that's wearing this amazing coat, and each element of the face is a symbol that creates the face. Every symbol means something, every shape means something. So I kind of started there. That was my first fish. And I just kind of went haphazardly on this journey. And it, through, through working and just having these ideas and seeing how I can use what was existing in this, in these ads and in these photographs, what I could do with it and what I could say and where things could make sense to me. And over the course of 10 months, I filled those pages. And it wasn't until I was trying to figure out the very back cover um, and what to do with that last big image that I was looking through all of the work that I had created up until that point, and I realized it all told this story, and it was mine. It was my story, and it was what I was feeling, and so it was very cathartic. And each piece has a through line to it, and a core emotion that I didn't really know I was feeling until it was almost done. And then it all clicked. And yeah, I just cried at work because it was like, oh, this is what this was all for.
it all came together.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about it, Aaron, don't let me forget. We need to put, if you're okay with it, we need to put imagery of this
Yeah, absolutely.
zine
Yeah.
on the episode. Don't let me forget that. um, but every page is different.
Mm-hmm. It is.
And so I'm curious, like how much time you spent on each page. And then it just clicked with me while we're talking about it right here is that you had to put actual paint to paper
Yeah.
at some point
Yeah. No.
and go, okay, this
Yeah.
is. happening right now. Shit,
Yep. No,
and
100%.
actually do it. And did you ever go over like
Yes.
twice?
Yes. So like I did for the front cover, for instance, that was like a week. That took me about a week from trying trying to just like spread paint around and find the symbols. And um, when I did the symbols and I drew the face, I practiced a couple times, which I don't normally do, but I was just like, I don't really want to mess this up because this is the master copy. So if you find a zine, you can't buy it. Sorry, you have to be out in the world and find it. That's how this one's going to be.
Yep.
So if you find one, I hope you do, but if you find one, um, those are scans of the original. I have the original at home. And so,
Dude, that original, guys, let me tell you. Actually, speaking of the patina,
mm,
sorry to interrupt.
no, you're fine.
The speaking of the patina that we talked about in clothing,
Mm-hmm.
this thing has all the signs of you flipping back and forth, opening and closing,
Yeah.
putting real paintbrush on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got actual wear.
Yes, it
And
does.
when I touched it, I was like, oh, this is just the act of painting on this thing has created a new layer
Mm-hmm.
of art
Yeah.
because of the wear and tear put on that mailer.
Yes.
It
Yeah.
was incredible. I thought it was so cool.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, it was each piece page, I suppose. Each page took a myriad amount of time. It wasn't like a, oh yeah, this idea. Like it all started with the words. Words are a big part of my art, and what I like, if people have known my work from the Skullhound days or Death or Warlords or anything like that, like very like esoteric, maybe a little emo,
A little.
captions, or maybe a lot emo.
And we love it.
And words always meant a lot to me. Um, and so a lot of the ideas started with these words, and where do the words want to belong in the context of these pages. And so each one kind of varied. There's ones that are very simple and kind of straightforward. And then there's ones like the back cover that has like 3 layers. Uh, there's one that says dreams in the cosmic dust. So I had a full piece done. I was so stoked with it, but it just felt wrong after sitting with it for a couple weeks.
Mm.
And so it then morphed into what it is now, and it's a lot of cover up and a lot of different shades of color, and so with the text "Dreams in the Cosmic Dust" over it, and I covered up some stuff that I thought was really cool, and no one will know except me.
Yeah.
And I like that. So
Yeah, that's awesome.
there are just like there are multiple layers to everyone's story. There's multiple layers in the ink in Banana Warhead, and with most things that I do, there are those layers. There's stuff that's covered up that you'll never know is there. But I think for me that's very special. So it is very much process. It's very rough around the edges, and it's very imperfect, but from a technical standpoint. Uh,
Right.
but
Yeah.
for me, to this day, currently, as we're talking about this, as we're recording this, it is the most honest, vulnerable, and true art I've ever made. And it's the one thing that I'm immensely proud of. I've taken some great photos in my time. I didn't really care. I knew they were great photos. It didn't matter to me.
Didn't hit as hard.
No, this is for me. This means a lot. So,
It's got layers in it. It's got layers in it. And I noticed it just looking at it. And you can see it in the prints, but when I looked at it at the original copy, you
mm-hmm,
can tell the things that you're talking about now. It's got layers that were covered up,
mm-hmm.
tons of imperfections, and it's really poetic because it works perfectly by the end.
Thank you.
It's super cool. And
I'm glad you were able
I'm not just
to
blowing smoke up your ass
no,
here.
I appreciate
It's
it.
literally the coolest thing ever.
I'm
And
glad you were able to see both side by side. I
yeah,
think that's really cool. I don't think anyone else has had that yet. And that's I think that was really special sitting at the dining room table and you're just like looking over them and then finishing them and then starting over. And
yeah,
that's how I hope people hold this art that I've made. And not just this one, but pretty much everything that I make. I really want people to hold them as objects, not as content.
mm,
You know, like it's not something to just be had and to look through, you
a
know,
swipe in the
once or
past.
twice. Yeah. Like uh, I will say in all humility, to get the most out of viewing my work, you really have to sit with it for a while. Um, and you probably won't know what it means, but I think whatever you think it means for you is what it means. Um, because that's something that I had with death back in the day, a clothing brand I used to do. And I knew what these things meant for me. I know what I meant, but hopefully there's space where people can hold their own stories and their own experiences, and it'll mean something totally different to them. So, like, there's no one meaning in my mind. You know, there's mine, and then you'll have yours, and
For
you know,
sure.
Aaron will have his, and
Yep. Yep.
any stranger that I'll probably never meet that finds one of these, it'll mean something totally different to them. And I just hope that in whatever I make, people feel seen and allowed room that to really believe that you know, like, I matter, my story matters, and the journey matters.
Mm,
You know, that's kind of the whole point, I suppose.
it's a beautiful thing. The word I would use to describe your art as a person just consuming it and knowing you is honesty.
Mm,
There's just a rawness. There's like an honesty to everything that I've ever seen you do.
mm, thank you.
It's just like this is just real life.
Mm,
And especially the stuff you're making recently that is more word based and
mm,
it just feels it just feels honest.
mm,
Is what it feels like. I wish people could feel the original version. Like I know people are gonna come across this thing wherever they come across it.
mm-hmm.
Is it all going to be in like Southern Colorado?
Yeah,
Anywhere outside of
it'll
there?
be pretty local. A couple people are getting uh, copies out of state, but
Okay.
they're friends and family.
You're going
So
to leave some
I'm
here
going to
in
leave some here.
locations.
There will be seven.
Seven of
Though
them. That's not fast.
I only made 20 copies. 13 are spoken for. Seven will be out in the world, and I will when I hide them or leave them somewhere, I'll post that on my stories. And if you want to go get it, go grab it if you're able. But if not, then somebody else hopefully will get it.
Will there be a way for people to find out what it is if they just stumble across it?
Kind of
Maybe
like
not.
there will be a
Kind
sticker.
of awesome if not. But I do want people to be able to find you.
There will be a stick. There's a sticker on the plastic packaging that it's in,
Okay.
and it does have myth on it. But if you really want to know, I trust that you will go the old school route and you'll find me.
Oh, you heard it, folks. AI is not going to do it for you.
Nope.
You're going to have to go find it.
Because
Actually, I'm
I'm
like, what?
nobody. I am nobody.
Shit would find you.
It might. It might. But yeah, like there is no QR code. There is no branding. If I didn't have that one sticker on it that had myth this big at the bottom of it, nobody would know.
That's so cool.
And I don't care if they do,
I
you
love
know.
it.
I really don't. That's not the point.
I do though. I do.
Well, it's because you're a fan and you're a homie, and I
I want
appreciate
everybody
that.
to know.
And that's
The
cool.
thing I love about you though is you don't care if anyone knows.
I
You're
don't.
doing it for the sake of making the piece of yourself.
Yeah.
I
And
love that. That's awesome.
and I trust that if people like you are fans of it, they will tell people that like, oh yeah, that's this guy or that's this artist or whatever. It's just like we talked about this last time we got breakfast. It's just like sharing music, like I just discovered a couple weeks ago this amazing band called Psychedelic Porn Crumpets, and they're amazing. They're so cool, and they're loud, and they're rock and roll, and they're weird, and kind of in a similar vein as King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Okay. Yeah.
If you're a fan of them, you'll probably like the Porn Crumpets. But yeah, like it's the same thing. We share what we share what matters to us. What makes an impact, and whether that be music or art or movies or photographs, or pieces of furniture, like, so if people are fans, I hope that you'll tell your friends, but like the goal is to not build this following. The goal is to practice art and to continue that practice until the road is over. So tell your friends, everybody.
It's a beautiful thing. I love that. It's great. It's just a love of the craft. It's a love of the game, bro.
Yeah, I love the game.
Yeah.
The whole the commoditization of the things that I love has killed my love for the things. And there's people that can do that, and that's amazing. And I respect those people a lot. But every time I've tried, I just end up hating whatever it is I'm doing, whether that be photography, whether that be clothes, whether that be whatever. And I really don't want this to be that.
Don't let it get there.
No. So like people can get prints that I'm working on that. People can buy originals if they want. I'm working on how to make that a thing, but that is not the point at all. It's very much not even secondary. That's like fifth string as on the priority list.
Yeah. I love that. I think it's pretty awesome.
Thanks, man.
For sure. Can't wait to find one out there. I
Yeah.
wonder if it'll be places I know, places I have to go hunt down. Don't give any hints.
Oh, I don't know where I'm going to put the map.
Okay. Oh, you don't know?
No, I don't know.
He's got ideas.
I'll figure it out. I'll know when I'm there, because they're going to be like in my car, and I'm just going to be like, oh, it should be here, and I'm just going to put it down.
Maybe like the floor of a dirty 7-Eleven off of Uinta and I-25.
Probably behind some hustlers. Yeah, you're going to have to look like a total creep.
Oh, I thought that's one time.
Yeah, but I don't know. Coffee shops, dentist offices, like
Dude, places where people would not expect to
Barnes and Noble, on a park bench. Who knows?
Yeah, dude, I love it.
But I trust that if it finds you, you were meant to find it. So, and I hope you'll accept it as the gift that it is.
Yeah. Yeah. What else are you cooking up right now in the art space, or have you even moved on from this yet?
I've tried. I don't think I will be able to fully move on mentally until they are all out of my possession.
So. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Because
for sure.
Because this is part of the this is part of the project. You know, this is not a secondary thing. This is a piece of the process. Um,
Yep, makes sense.
so so it's not done until it's done all the way and all of the pieces are out of my possession.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't know if I'll just take a day and just do it. I don't know if it'll take like a month or however long.
Yeah.
I don't know. Um, and so I can't really say, but once it's done, I do have a very loose goal of doing a zine a year, to start. I want to be kind to myself and not be like, oh, I have to make this stuff for this zine, like,
Don't do
and
that.
I don't know how that will manifest yet. I don't know if it'll be like, oh, I'm going to make pieces for a specific zine, or if I'm just going to make pieces, um, and then maybe a body of work will come from that. It'll probably be a mix of both, and then something that I haven't thought of yet. So I have ideas. The words are there. I just don't know. I just don't know what it'll look like. There will.
Don't tell us yet.
I think that I'll tell you the name of the second one. I think
Oh,
the second
okay.
the second one's going to be Conquistador,
Oh
and
man.
it's going to be very different than Banana Warhead as far as tone. This it's going to be kind of intense, I think.
It's gonna be kind of intense, as if the stuff you make isn't intense already.
It's not intense to me. It's very tender. Banana Warhead is very tender for me.
Tender.
Yeah, it's very tender.
Interesting word for it.
Yeah, yeah,
Huh.
very soft.
I love that.
Conquistador will not be.
Oh,
Not to me anyway.
I can't wait to see this.
So
I
yeah.
can't wait to see this. That's gonna be great.
Have I shown you the cover? I'd finished the cover.
Oh no, you haven't.
Well, I'll show it to you after. Sorry, kids.
Dude,
You're gonna have
I've
to
got to
wait.
see this. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll show it to you when we're done.
so because you are a person of Colorado Springs, I
Mhm.
do want to ask you the same two questions that we always ask everybody on this show.
Awesome.
What's something you love about Colorado Springs? What's something that you think we need to get better at? Um, but I'm curious also first if there's any connection in the real world in the city that you live in, any inspiration that you get from around here, or good or bad,
Mm.
um, what that's like for
Uh,
you.
so, at risk of sounding like a total hater, which I'm a recovering hater, um, I think Colorado Springs, growing up here, has shown me how not to be. That's what I've taken from it. How not to go about things for myself. If it works for you, that's awesome. But for me, I found a lot of inspiration elsewhere. Because when I was coming up here, there was like really no semblance of identity or culture that I knew. Being a pretty sheltered homeschooled kid, So, um, but what I liked was like X Games. Like I watched Tony Hawk do the 900 on the X Games, like on TV, and
For the first
for
time?
the first time, yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't remember that.
And like it
That's
was
awesome.
it was a momentous day, and so
I can
like.
see you as a kid cheering in your living room.
Oh yeah, I was. I was freaking out. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "He just did the 900. Nobody's ever done the 900." Yeah, yeah. And so like I'm very influenced by like extreme sports, culture, and like skate culture, and some of my biggest influences are old skaters like Mark Gonzalez and Jason Dill. Like Mark Gonzalez is the best shitty artist of all time. I just love it. I love how free he is and his poetry. I don't understand really, but it creates a world, and I love that. I can imagine the type of world that his poetry lives in. And Jason Dill, I remember him from Alien Workshop, the Alien Workshop days, and he has a brand called Fucking Awesome, and he does a lot of collage work, and how he creates story through his collages is just so weird and so cool. So so I found my influences there and in music, and specifically the, like, some people might get upset, but we called it hardcore. It was like screamo stuff, like people with neck tattoos being all like super angry, screamy music, and so
Yeah,
like,
seemingly, but it wasn't really angry.
no, it was very emotional. It was like heavy emo a lot of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and
An interesting thing.
yeah, and so I was really drawn to that, and like the worlds and stories in like anime. Um, like there was a block of like 3 hours, I think, on Toonami, on Cartoon Network, called Toonami, and it was just 3 hours of different anime shows. And so like two specifically, Gundam Wing and Outlaw Star, very different stories, but I just thought that vibe was so cool, and these characters are so cool. And at the time, like, all the characters were like in their little, like, they were like 15, 16, or like 20 years old. And so I was like, oh, these real adults, and it's just so
Cool.
cool, and I'm like 12
Yep.
years old. So that was kind of my world. That's where I like pulled a lot of, and still do pull a lot of influence from. And being my world was so small, and so getting into like the music scene here, um I played bass for quite a few bands locally. um it was a mixed bag. Some people were really supportive, super stoked that, like, oh, I can hear this music and these people are doing something, and that's so awesome. But then there were people that were total haters, and like, been like, oh yeah, I'm an artist, and that really tarnished the artist label for me when I was younger, like late teens, early 20s.
See, okay.
And so, people just had kind of, in my view, a elevated view of themselves, and I didn't really want to do that. I kind of countered how I was raised, and so, that kind of like rubbed against me in a not so great way. So I saw, we've talked about this a lot, but Colorado Springs to me is the patron saint. Colorado Springs is the patron saint of mediocrity. I think historically it has, people have had some good ideas, just not quite there, not quite true to them, that like, and whether this is fair or not, I'm sure it's not, but from my perception, people saw something that was really cool in a big city, and they were like, oh, we can do that here. And so I've seen it, from my perspective, transform into more of a business city, which is not bad, but it's just not what I care about. So these ideas and things that, oh, it's cool because we don't have that, but it's not anything new. And there's nothing really new under the sun.
Yeah,
So, and it
yeah.
took me a long time to realize that. Um, but
It all came from
it
somewhere.
all came from somewhere, and that's okay. But I think it's on its way to, for us to starting to have our own identity, our own culture. Like, this is who we are. I just don't think when we were coming up, it quite had it yet. So it was very easy to hate on. And I know a lot of mutual friends were just like, oh, there's like nothing to do here. There's like no culture and all this stuff. And I would say the biggest influence, to actually answer your question, the biggest influence that Colorado Springs has had on me is the search for the cool shit.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta really want to find the pockets. And for me, those are not businesses. They're not, art spaces. They're not galleries. They're not restaurants. They're not bookstores. It's mountains and rivers. And that is where I find the most calm and the most centering and influential parts of myself is
Interesting.
in the nature that is all around us. Like I would just go up Gold Camp and listen to music in the dead of night and just
Oh
like
yeah.
be all up in there and just be like, oh, my feelings, and like, and so for some people,
Yep.
a city can be the catalyst for that. But for me, it was the mountains and woods, and still is uh, a river. Like if a river is there, I could sit there for hours.
As
Just
David Lynch said,
the ideas are in the river.
the ideas are in the river. That
Mhm.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So that and to be totally fair, like I'm kind of a homebody. I don't get out much, so I don't think I can speak one way or another to how it is now. But I do see more people are willing to try things, and I think the places that I do know, like Yobel and the Lookup Gallery, like Clay and Emily. I've known Emily since I was like 10, I think. She
They're
was
so
she was
awesome.
friends with my sister.
They're both so
They're
awesome.
so
And Lookup
cool.
Gallery is so cool.
Yes. And
So
so like I see things like that existing, and thriving
yeah.
and like doing really well. And like this camaraderie between shop owners and artists. And it just seems so much more like everyone is so for each other. And at least from my perspective, it wasn't that way before. It was kind of me versus you, you know,
Yeah.
like, and so I think that's really cool, but I can't really speak with any firsthand knowledge, the culture of Colorado Springs. So I think I would love to see Colorado Springs come out more of itself. And I don't know what that is, but like,
Yeah.
this is who we are. We don't care how they do it in New York. We don't care how they do it in California. We definitely don't care how they do it in Texas, like, so, and to just kind of like, stick your flag in the ground and just be like, this is who we are and this is how we do things. And this is our flavor. And it's uniquely ours. It's just not quite like anywhere else. Um, and I think we have that, have the spark of that in the tightness of communities here. You know, the warmth that people have with each other. At least the people that we know. And
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
is the start of um, a really solid identity. I just want to see it. I want to see it transcend art into business and into the things that we offer. That I want to see something new. I want to see something that is like somebody had this idea and then it fully went through their filter and it's a total expression of themselves as a business owner having ideas. That is something unique for our city,
Yeah.
for us, for you and us, for you
Yeah.
and I to enjoy. um, I haven't quite experienced that. I don't know if that's even possible, but I think that would be really
Well,
cool.
it's hard to say what it could be or should be.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like
I
the
don't know
idea,
if it should be anything in particular.
yeah, it's like we need to come into ourselves and be exceptional.
Mhm.
What does that mean exactly? You
Yeah.
can't really sit here and say that,
No, but I
you know?
but I do think you can um encourage people to dig a little deeper and maybe be a little more intentional before you drop a business plan. Maybe.
I like
What do
that.
what what do I know?
I
I don't
like
I
it.
don't I don't know. I'm just
But
talking shit.
How do I know?
But but maybe
Well, I
if
see what you're
but
saying.
maybe if somebody hears this, they'll be like, "Oh, what if I did? Maybe potentially this could be a seed. Or like, what if I did do the thing that I think is so cool that may or may not work?" And obviously, you're taking a big risk because business, like you want to succeed. But I just think that's where the real good shit
What
is
if you
in
just,
that scary place.
yep, what if you just got out of your comfort zone and tried it?
Yeah.
You've had a wild hair
Yep.
for a while, but it's a little scary in a
Mm-hmm.
more conservative town like this where it's really going to get people's attention. Might be in a bad way.
Yeah.
What if you did it anyway?
I don't know, but I want to find out. I want to go to those places. I want to see what that's all about.
Well,
I want to see people's soul.
yeah. As much as you don't want the attention, I also think you're leading the way, even if you don't consider yourself to be out there. I hope a lot of people hear this episode as this podcast gets more and more listeners over time. I hope a lot of people hear this and realize that you're just doing you.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing you, and they should be doing them
Yeah.
and doing it for real. Because if we all did that, there'd be a lot more unique stuff around.
I think
More
so.
art.
And I think the world needs that. Whether it's
Yeah.
in whether it's in politics, in business, if you're a restaurateur, or if you're an entrepreneur, or if you sell soap, or if you sell pies, or if you sell socks, like it doesn't matter. Like I think I think most people, me included, I'm trying to get out of this mindset, is so focused on the outcome, whatever that is, whatever you want that to be.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of thinking of whatever you're creating, because business is creative. I think most things in this life are creative acts. It takes a lot of guts to start a business, to have an idea and to see it through. And so I'll never um, disregard or shame anyone for trying. Effort is the most underrated thing ever. But if I could, if I could encourage people to think about creation as practice instead of outcomes, practice your shit, live it out, do it all the time. And like I have this manifesto type thing that is a guiding principles of how I process through creation. And practice is presence. You're there, you're fully engrossed in it, you are living it. Practice is movement or action. An idea comes to you, you sit with it, you walk with it, you run with it, you play with it, and then you let it go. And practice is fun. Whatever you do, it should be fun. And you should be having a blast doing it because it'll show in whatever you're doing. And
Yeah.
so, to sum all that up, practice is perfect.
I love that. That is how you, as a person, and I've known you for a long time, that's how you take your time.
Mhm. I try
People,
to.
most people can't take their time. The reason you take your time is because you're actually enjoying the process.
Mm-hmm.
And this is one of the most important things about life.
Yeah.
Don't think too much about the future.
Yeah.
Definitely don't think too much about the past.
No.
What are you doing right now? Enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
Live in this moment.
Yeah.
Art should be the same way. Create
Yes.
something and let it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Act on your feelings
Yeah.
as you go through it,
Yeah.
you know?
The
Yeah,
the I'm sure you've heard it said that the journey is the point.
absolutely.
And I would say for fellow artists out there, it's all about the dance. It's not about the moves. It's not about finishing the dance or even doing it great.
Yeah.
It's just dancing.
So good. That's perfect. Well, this is probably a good place to wrap it up. Um, Tell people where they can follow you if they want to find you, if you want them to find you.
I'm on Instagram for those who are on there. Myth Immaculate is my handle. There's a couple of underscores in between Myth and Immaculate. I don't know how many. You'll figure it out.
A certain amount.
Yeah, there's a certain amount. And then the website will be up soon, and that will be immaculate.works.
Love it. Love it. Well, cool. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me,
Always
Adam.
good to talk. We could talk for days and days. We've been talking for days, for years.
Yeah, eons. Eons.
So long. But good to have you on. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
All right.